Hello world, my name is Sariah and thank you so much Priya for having me here to talk about all of my favorite things. I am a recording artist, I'm a singer, an actress, a dancer, a nonprofit creator, and a makeup artist. So she's asked me to come here and talk a little bit about makeup and all the other things in my world. So here we go. I'm gonna give you an eye makeup tutorial today. This is my style, everyone has a different style, but I'm really into smoky eyes, especially now since we've had a little bit of time to explore our favorite things. So here we go. I always think before you start your makeup, you should be super happy and in a place that makes you feel really good. For example, I have my favorite Bath & Body Works candle over here. It's Vanilla Cupcake, it's my favorite. I'm wearing my favorite pajamas from my best friend, super comfortable, and I have my ring light and I have a good mirror so that I can see properly for what I need for the day. So, first, priming is everything. If you don't prime your eyes or you don't prime your skin, then things are gonna move and they're not gonna be how you want them to be. So one of my favorite primers is from MAC. It's a paint pot, which means that it's more, it's gonna be a cream base, so it's really gonna hold on to the colors and it's also gonna make them more vibrant. When I'm doing makeup on someone else, I don't use my fingers at all, but when I'm doing makeup on myself, I tend to do it occasionally. So take a little bit on your finger, I'm gonna put it on my eyelid here, all over, even underneath the brow. That's gonna create a nice little dimension that we're gonna talk about later too. Again, here we go, on the other side. Really apply it. Don't be afraid to apply too much because you're gonna create a nice base for yourself. Now, whatever your concealer is, let's grab that. One of my favorites is by NARS here. It's really thick, but it's not overwhelming, if that makes any sense. Who knows? I have interesting terms for everything. So I'm gonna take one of my brushes here, if I can find it. Here, Morphe, love Morphe. Really great price point and really great quality. And I'm gonna go right underneath the brow bone here. This is gonna create a shape for my eyebrow. And it's gonna allow a little bit of highlight. You can blend that in with your finger if you need to. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Again, I put a little bit on my hand. And along with that, I'm gonna take my other favorite brush in the entire world. And I'm gonna dab a little on there and go on my under eye. Okay, I've already done my foundation. We can do another tutorial on that if you like. But I'm gonna add a little bit more of this here. Just to create a little bit of highlight underneath the eye. And we're gonna add some powder to that later to blend it in. So I've tried a bunch of different products. And I've really found that I like to focus on the eyes, and I probably spend most of my money on eyeshadow palettes. And even sometimes for my skin, I use some more inexpensive foundations because you can it's really about the priming and it's also about the powders you use. So you can kind of mix and match as you go along. So I'm gonna take now, what I like to do, again, if you have any questions, let me know because I'm absolutely happy to answer anything you need. So this brush right here is a classic from MAC. It's number 224 and it's a really good blending brush, and as you can see, I've used it for just a nice sheer clean base. So I'm gonna do that all over my eye just to give it, again, where I put all of the primer. Okay. Why do I do this? Because it's gonna create a little bit more of a balance, because if you just have the concealer there, it might look a little too bright. So you wanna make sure you're giving it a nice, clean setup base. Now I'm gonna take another brush that's from Morphe. So I'm gonna take some browns now. And my favorite way of doing a smoky eye is really to create dimension. I never want you to see where anything starts or see where anything ends. I want everything to blend in together. So when I say my crease, it's like a half moon here, okay? So I always start from the outside, and for my first color that I usually do, which is gonna be a brown, I'm gonna go all the way here to the inside, okay? And now it's all circular motions. If you think about a circle, you don't know when it starts and when it ends, and that's what we wanna do. So I'm creating that dimension here, and you just keep blending. You can never stop blending. It's my favorite thing to do. Eyes are my absolute favorite. Okay, so you can already see there's a little more dimension to my eye. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm living in New York since 2004. I'm originally from Boston. I moved here to pursue my music career in acting. I am a recording artist as well, as I mentioned before, and I'm super grateful that 3 of my singles have hit the Billboard dance chart. One actually hit the upcoming chart too, which is really exciting, and the breakout chart, which was talking about different songs that have been highlighted that are coming out on the chart. So that was really great. And now I created a movement called Brave. It's a nonprofit, and we give all of our proceeds to women and children who are victims of sex trafficking, mental and physical abuse. So I'll get into that in a little bit. So now I'm gonna take a palette that's a little bit deeper brown, and I encourage everyone to try different palettes that they love. I'm gonna do pretty much the same exact thing. I'm just gonna get in there a little bit more, right into the crease, and I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Same circles, same style brush, and let's do that again on this side, okay? So I have always wanted to do a women's movement. Being a singer in the music industry as a woman has had a lot of challenges. So I wanted to do something and create something that could be a very safe environment for women, musicians, and singers. So when I first had the goal and dream and idea, I thought maybe I should just do a show, and then all the proceeds could go somewhere. So that's exactly what I did. In 2018, my first show was in October at the Bitter End in New York City, and I gave all the proceeds from the door to the Covenant House, which is an incredible place that helps all women and children who've been victims of sex trafficking, and again, of physical and mental abuse. So it was so amazing because we had representatives from the Covenant House there to talk about their experience and how amazing the house is and what they do for women and children all throughout the world. It was incredible. And we also got to do a show in LA at the Hotel Cafe. Again, all the proceeds went there. We did another one in the fall in New York. And now, because of COVID, we were supposed to do one in Boston, my hometown, but we're gonna do an online show in October. So I will definitely make sure Priya gets you all the information so you guys know how you can follow, support, and enjoy the show. It's gonna be really great. So my final step for the eyeshadow is gonna be, I wanna take a black and do it right in the crease, just in the corners. So before we were going all the way in, now I'm just gonna touch the outside of the eye. Of course, you can do a smoky eye and do black all over, and that's gonna be a very fun night out look, but this one is gonna be a little bit more daytime meets nighttime, if that makes any sense. Okay, so one of my favorite palettes is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Emery palette. I actually worked with her at MAC long time ago. I used to work there. So I really like her eyeshadows. There's one here that is called Gemini, and it's very bronzy and it's a little shimmery. So I'm taking a flatter brush here and I'm applying it just to the inside of the eye. Okay, so just that part there. Do a little bit more. What I really like about this too is that it's there's eyeshadows called pigments, and pigments are loose powder. So she's created an eyeshadow that's like a pigment. So it's like a loose powder meets an eyeshadow in one, and I absolutely love it. I've gotten to spend so much great time with my family, which is amazing, but it's just when you think about all the people who've passed away and who are sick and who are struggling and people who don't have the opportunity to just like be doing their normal routine, it's a little scary, and I just hope that everyone's staying safe and doing well and taking care of themselves and wearing a mask. So my inner water line is going to come from Marc Jacobs. I really like this one a lot. I actually got a sample, and that's what I'm still using now. But I put it right in that water line, which gives it a nice dimension. So here we have Brand Drama. This is a mascara that I really, really like. I'm going to put this on everywhere before I put on my lashes. Let me apply this lash. Blow on it for about a good 10 to 15 seconds. Let that duo glue really sink in there, because the less that it's wet and tackier, the more it'll stay onto your eye. Okay, I'm just gonna take my mirror up close. I like to make sure it's pretty exact here. Don't worry, sometimes you can get a little duo in your eye. It's totally fine, even if you wear contacts, it's okay. You wanna marry it to your actual lash and your lash line. Sometimes you wanna look down. I always find that tilting my head to the back and adding the lash is super helpful. Give a little bit of love to my under eye here. This is a brush that has one of my favorite products in the entire world, my Chanel. It's a natural finish loose powder, and I think they're discontinuing it, so run to the store to get it. But it just gives a nice little seamless touch, and it also will last all day for you, I promise. Of course I do! So we met through our agent in Philadelphia. Her energy is so incredible, and from the first moment that I met her, I was like, this girl is destined for greatness. She's super talented, a wonderful soul, and I'm super grateful to call her my friend. So my final touch with you all is gonna be my signature red lipstick. As a makeup artist, I wanted to have something that was my own, that I could give to my clients and also to the stage when I'm performing, and it is my Sariah Queen lipstick. It's available at sariahqueen.com. It is a matte red, and it is the greatest red that I have ever had in my life. I love it so much, and I hope you do too. It glides on really well, and it stays forever. So I'm just gonna apply this here. Awesome. If any other questions, please let me know. Priya, thank you so much again for having me. I hope this has been helpful for you all. I hope you all are staying safe. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Wear your mask, and please check out my music as well if you have a minute, and be sure to check out our Brave show in October. Lots of love. Thanks for having me.